How to be ruthlessly effective. Working hard doesn't make you successful. Working effective does. Most people confuse effort with progress, alright? They think that sweating longer mean they're moving faster. But all they're doing is running around in circles with better shoes every single time. Because in business and essentially in life too, the person who thinks clear always beat the ones who try hard. Think of this in every single Superman or superhero comic that you have seen, or even in anime. The one that made the plan before always win. The one that have a detailed thought out plan always win. Okay. So, here is how you be ruthlessly effective. First, step one is to redefine work. We all have been brainwashed to believe that hard work is the path to freedom. But that's not true anymore. And because if you think about it, if all you need was hard work to succeed, then you probably gonna think, oh, the people that put in 24, 25 hours a day, it's already millionaires. Think about the cleaner, the construction people. Those guys put in more work than a lot of us are. But some of them don't even make enough for a living. So this is why hard work is what we were told was the path for freedom. In the old world, effort was essentially the currency of success. So you think of like forever ago when people were just the whole job market was starting. Everything was just starting. No one knows anything. There's no strategic plan. There really isn't any strategic plan. It's whoever worked the hardest will gain the most result. That's just how it was in the olden days. But now, as technology developed and more strategic approach developed to business as well as life, leverage is what changes from people who have worked hard to now whose people know how to use leverage. A person who spent 10 hours cold calling can't beat someone, can't theoretically beat someone that calls 1,000 people automatic or that have a call center. You can't beat that. Even though the person that have a call center, a call center or a automated call system only realistically work for 1 or 2 hours a day. So the question now is not how can I work harder? It's what can I build so I can be ruthlessly effective? What can I do to be so effective that I never have to work again? That is the real question. That's effectiveness right there. Okay? Step two, energy is a limited resource, so use it wisely. If you think about this, every single morning that you wake up, you have a finite amount of energy. It's the same for everything, even for your car. Your car, just think your car. They have a finite amount of resource that can use to drive. Every single time it goes out, you have to recharge it. It's the same for everything. There's not a single thing that have infinite energy. Because infinite energy is right now we have not discovered something that is infinite. So you have a finite amount of mental energy every single day. And most people waste it by in the morning they wake up, they scroll on their phone, they argue with people online, they play games, they doubt themselves, they chase distraction, they spend their days just completely wasted away. You're wasting your mental energy that way. Effective people protect their energy like it's currency because they knows that if the more free time that they can free up so that they can use their mental energy effectively is what will compound because when they use that effectively it will compound with like if you were to wake up every single day and the first thing that you do is work just work for the first 4 hours and do completely absolutely nothing for the rest of the day, you'll still be better, you still get better result than the person who have, oh, I wake up in the morning, I scroll on TikTok, blah 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 blah. Oh, and then I'll put in 1 hour here. Okay, now I go down to eat, and then I go scroll on TikTok for another 2 or 3 hours. Okay, now I put in hours, blah blah blah. In the end, that other person put in like 4 or 5, 6 or 7 hours, but unproductive hour work compared to your 4 hour in the morning. That's super productive, and that's the only work you do. So that's how you use your mental energy effectively. Because if you notice, if you actually are the person that drain out their mental energy every single day, you'll notice that as the afternoon go by, your thought aren't as clear and you're not as sharp. Oftentimes that's when people like fall back into their usual diet. That's when they succumb to video games and stuff like that. That's why a lot of people like after work they play game at night. That's just how it is because they don't have the mental clarity to work anymore. But you have all of that in the morning. So before you start your day, ask, is the task I'm doing today moving me closer to success or is it just keeping me busy? Think about that. Because when I started, the first thing that I always do in the morning was check email and chat to client. That take 4 to 5 hours of my day every single day. And it's really isn't moving me anywhere. So now I change that mindset. Think, okay, is this the task that will drive the most in my business? Because busy people might look successful. You might see them all running around every single day, making phone call, blah blah blah. But the effective people is the one that actually will become successful. All right. Step 3. Master asymmetry. Every action you take should give you more input, more output than input. That's called asymmetry. Small effort, massive return. So think of things like this, okay? A single cold call is very linear. So you call one person and they pick up, they close, maybe, okay. Maybe they don't close. You have to pick up another call. You call another person, okay, maybe they close, they don't close. It's just a linear path on how much people you can actually reach. But think of something like a SMS system. That's essentially it's exponential. So once you create an SMS system, your input is just one click of a button, and from that one click, it send 10, 20,000 messages. That's all exponential. Okay? You spent time once setting up that system and it pay you back essentially forever. That's what I mean by creating something that gives you more output than input. And that's how you go from working in the business into building something that essentially work for you. So the cold calling will essentially turn into the automated call center, or the one or two SMS will turn to an automated SMS system. Think of it that way. Like even startup, they might have a small team at the start, but slowly they build the whole company that creates something massive that they don't even have to work anymore. Okay. Step 4. Simplified until it scales. So complexity is the enemy of effectiveness. The more complicated your system is, the more fragile it becomes because there's so much component in it that you have to manage everything, and if one thing collapses, everything collapses. So that's why effective people constantly subtract. They cut the noise, they delete what doesn't serve them, they reduce and simplify. They will just go, okay, so how do I go lower, lower, lower? They go from, oh, a system that will do everything for you in your business to, oh, a system that will do email, that will do marketing for you, and then they go lower. Oh, the system that will only do SMS and email, and then even go lower, and they just simplify it to one system. They go like, oh, they will have a system that will just constantly send out SMS message, and they refine that until it scales to the point that there it's a solid foundation for other things to come as they build up. So when you're creating something, ask yourself, what would this look like if it were simple? If you can explain it in one sentence, that's great. Make sure that it is that simple. Make sure that even like a third grade understand what you're doing. Because the more simple it is, the easier it is to sell, and the easier it is for you to scale. That rhymes. So the simplest version of your business is usually the most scalable one. So for me, when I started, it was just all over the place. I was like, oh, I will hire a VAs for you, and that VA will do cover all of your outreach and your ads and all of that. And from there, it will also help you hire more employees, blah, 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 blah. Sounds great, but when I start explaining that process for people, it just doesn't make sense for them. I just start, there isn't a, they wouldn't just click. It just wasn't something that was clicking for them. But once I simplify it down, it's just like, oh, here's what I'll help you, and I'll help you only with this. I will help you use an SMS system that will get you client. Simple as that. That's all I was selling. And from there, once you have refined that system, once you can sell it, you can start saying more specific stuff. I will help you build an SMS system that will get you 5 to 10 qualified client every single month. Simpler, right? Every single that's the simplest version of your business is the most scalable one because you have mastery in one area. Step 5. Detach from the grind mindset. This is very, very hard to do. That's why there's a reason why burnout is so glorified, because people mistake motion for meaning. Like they think, as long as I just keep grinding at it every single day, something will happen. They mistake that motion for meaning. They think that the more they put in, the more output they get. It might be true to some extent, but you can only do so much as one person. Think about that. If CEOs of big company were effective by just grinding every single day, then they would have hired people. Because one person can only do so much. That's why a real winner are really detached from the grind culture. They don't prove that, oh, this is how much I suffer. Oh, this is how much I grind hard. Oh, I need to do this. They prove how efficiently they are. They prove that, oh, one of their action is more valuable than 20 or 30 of your action. That's how they win. You don't earn freedom by working hard. If the whole point of you just working harder and bringing in more money, you're creating yourself just a high paying job, and that's not what you want. You might think, oh, eventually I'll make enough money that I'll retire. You're following the same 9 to 5 models, but you're just getting paid a little bit better. You earn it freedom by building a system that work harder than you ever could and bring in more output than you ever could. So the goal isn't to escape work, it's to design work that compound while you sleep, you travel, or just laying around in general. Effectiveness is essentially the goal here. It's the realization that effort is essentially finite, and when you build a system, that's just something that will last, okay? So think about this, ponder on it, and that's pretty much it for how to be ruthlessly effective. And if you are a business broker or an agency in general that are targeting business owners who want to sell, stop wasting your time on dead leads and just check out my auto seller generation course below. It will show you how to automate lead generation and appointment booking so that your business will run 24/7 when you're not, so you can get 5 times qualified business seller every single month without any effort. Other than that, later.